Breaking news. There is now more money in Bitcoin than in silver? What? SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins. Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. We are looking at Twitter. This news just came out. This is breaking news just as of a few minutes ago. Bitcoin is now the 8th largest asset with the market cap of over 1.4 trillion, having surpassed silver. So this is a list of the top 10 assets by market cap. You can see gold up here at the top. No surprise there. Gold crushes everything else. And we scroll down and here you go. Bitcoin coming in at number 8, silver at number 9. And look at their respective prices. Bitcoin $72,586, silver $24.70 when they took this snapshot here. So insane to see. When you think about the old saying, if you can't hold it, then you don't own it. Well, people are not following that at all, because Bitcoin, obviously you can't hold it in your hand. It's digital, it's numbers on a screen, it's electricity. There's nothing physical, tangible. Silver is an element. It has weight. We mine it out of the ground. We refine it, turn it into bars, coins, etc. Silver you can hold in your hand, just like gold. But even so, there is now more money in Bitcoin than in silver. Wow, what else is going on with silver right now? Let's briefly take a look at precious metals prices, see what's going on, because gold and silver are continuing to move up and they're not slowing down. Gold is now sitting at $2,192. It just changed as I'm making this video, up $8.50 on the day, but it is trending higher. That's the important thing to note. Gold has gone up every day for a week now plus, and there has been no correction, no reversal, nothing. Now let's take a look at silver. Silver is continuing to move up today as well, currently sitting at $24.63, up 21 cents on the day. But there's something I want to point out. If we look at the 2-week trend for silver and gold, if we scroll up here, you can see 13 days, silver is up. This is the percentage I want you to look at, 8.54%. So silver is up quite a bit over the last 2 weeks. Gold, on the other hand, only 7.35% gain. So even though gold is at an all-time high and continuing to move higher, silver is actually going up faster than gold. Now let's take a look at what mainstream media is saying about precious metals. Gold prices could keep climbing, but analysts expect silver to steal the show before long. Wow, silver stealing the show? My ears are open. Let's just look at the key points here. The first one, precious metal prices have pushed higher in recent weeks amid growing expectations of U.S. interest rate cuts. Marcus Garvey, head of commodities strategy at Macquarie, which many of you know, Macquarie is a large financial services group out of Australia. So he said on Friday that near-term U.S. jobs and inflation data could determine whether gold prices push as high as 2,300 or drop back to around 2,100. If we start to see global growth pick up a bit more over the course of this year, which is very much our base case, then I would expect silver to go from a relative underperformer to gold to being a relative outperformer to gold over really the third and fourth quarter of this year, Garvey said. Wow, he thinks silver is going to really start picking up steam as the year moves on. What about gold, though? Here's another article which just came out a few weeks ago. The headline reads, "Gold at 3,000 and oil at 100 by 2025. Citi analysts don't rule it out." So Citibank, one of the biggest banks in the world, they're thinking gold could hit $3,000 an ounce by next year. And if silver outperforms gold, wow, how high could silver go? That's what I want to know. But is there really a chance that metals could keep flourishing? Well, listen into this key thing Jerome Powell said just a few days ago, the last time he spoke.
We have identified the banks that have high commercial real estate concentrations, particularly office and retail, and other ones that have been affected a lot. We identify them, and we are in dialogue with them around, do you have your arms around this problem. Do you have enough capital? Do you have enough liquidity? Do you have a plan? You're going to take losses here. Are you being truthful with yourself and with your owners? And so we've been working with them. And so for some time we've been doing that. And this is a problem that we'll be working on for years more, I'm sure. There will be bank failures, but this is not the big banks. If you look at the very big banks, it's not a first-order issue for any of the very large banks. It's more, smaller and medium-sized banks that have these issues.
Here is a look at the failed bank list put out by the FDIC. Now, the important thing to note is that there were 5 banks which failed last year. The first of which was Silicon Valley Bank, then there was Signature Bank, First Republic, Heartland Tri-State, and the most recent was Citizens Bank from Sac City. But the banks that failed, these were not small banks by any means. In fact, if we just look at the first 3 banks which failed last year, they were bigger than all of the banks combined which failed in 2008 during the financial crisis. So if this trend continues, we could be in for a wake-up call. This chart here has not been updated to show all of the banks which failed last year, but I do want to point out that after 2008, in 2009, there were 140 bank failures. These were mostly the small and medium-sized banks which failed, and this is kind of what Jerome Powell is talking about. There's the big surge, and then all of the other smaller banks will fail later on. So we could be seeing that this year and next year. But I also want to point out that last time around, precious metals prices did not peak until the year 2011. Here we are looking at silver over the last 30 years, and the big spike is on April 25th, 2011. This is about 3 years after the start of the Great Recession. Now, history does not always repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So we can see similar things happen from decade to decade. And a lot of people are thinking that we could be on the brink of another massive run up in silver. Now, is this possible? Yes. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen this year, that could happen next year. Once the Fed starts slashing rates, we know that's very bullish for silver. And what if Jerome Powell is wrong? What if we see big banks start to fail? Well, that could push a lot more money into gold, a lot more money into silver as people lose trust in the banking system once again. They're also worried about inflation. I mean, there's the election coming up. There are so many factors this year which could drive silver price much, much higher. I'm certainly keeping both eyes on silver to see what it does. I'm curious what you think of all the news which came out. There was a lot that came out today. Probably one of the biggest things is Bitcoin now having a larger market cap than silver. Wow, let me know what you think about this and everything else down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.